It was a police episode into in Ultrasound review for the imposter, but we've been service center. Like so the link to the video will be discipline below. Go and check them out. So let's into this fucking 3, 2, 1.
The fluorescent lights of the emergency room buzzed overhead as Officer Daniel Hayes clutched his stomach, beads of
Oh,
sweat rolling down his temples. His uniform was stained from the night's patrol, and his
yeah,
radio still crackled faintly on his belt. He thought it
yeah.
was exhaustion, maybe food poisoning, nothing more. But when the doctors wheeled him into radiology, something on the screen made every person in the room stop breathing.
Really?
The ultrasound technician pressed the cold wand against his abdomen, eyes narrowing as she adjusted the angle. Then there it was. A rhythmic flicker. A steady beat. "Wait, what is that?" Daniel whispered, his pulse racing. The doctor leaned closer, his voice trembling. "Officer Hayes, this is the fetal heartbeat." Daniel's head spun. "That's impossible.
What?
I'm a man." But the image on the screen didn't lie. The
No.
man who wore a badge, who faced criminals and chaos every night, was carrying the one thing no one would ever believe. A
Yeah.
child. Daniel Hayes had been a police officer for almost a decade, known in the precinct as Iron Dan. He was
I'm
respected
good.
for his bravery and his unshakable calm under fire.
Yeah.
Whether chasing suspects through dark alleys or standing his ground in heated standoffs, he was always the rock everyone depended on. But over the last few months, his life had quietly begun to unravel. It started with fatigue. No matter how much he slept, he woke up
Okay.
drained. Then came the nausea, unexpected waves that hit him at the most inconvenient times, like
Really?
during morning briefings. His fellow officers teased him. "Maybe you're getting soft, Dan. Lay off the donuts." They'd laugh,
Love it, don't you?
slapping his growing belly. He forced a grin, but deep down, fear gnawed at him. At home, things were different. His partner, Lucas, knew something was wrong. They had been together for 5 years, building a steady life despite the whispers and stares. Lucas
Mm.
noticed the changes first: the midnight trips to the bathroom, the cravings, the way Daniel's body seemed to change shape. "You should see a doctor," Lucas urged one night, worry etched on his face. "I'm fine," Daniel insisted, brushing it
Fine.
off. "It's stress. The job's been rough." But even as he said it, he knew something wasn't right. And deep down, he
Yeah.
carried another secret, one that tied back to a desperate decision they had made months earlier. The collapse came suddenly. On patrol, Daniel doubled over, clutching his stomach. His partner rushed him to the hospital, convinced it was appendicitis or worse. But when the blood results came back, confusion filled the doctor's eyes. "Your hormone levels, they're unusual," he said carefully. "Specifically, HCG levels." Daniel frowned. "What
Really?
does that mean?" The doctor hesitated. "It's a hormone usually only found in pregnancy." The words hit like a bullet. Daniel laughed nervously. "You're kidding,
Oh.
right? That's not possible." But the ultrasound silenced every protest.
Yeah.
The flicker of life on the screen could not be denied. Lucas, who had rushed to the hospital, squeezed his hand tightly.
Yep. That's a baby bump. Yep.
Tears welled in his eyes, but not from fear, something else. Something Daniel couldn't name yet. The doctors ordered more scans. The truth emerged. Daniel had been born with a rare condition called persistent Mullerian duct syndrome,
Really?
PMDS. Outwardly, he was completely male. But deep inside, he had remnants of female reproductive organs, structures no one had ever discovered until now. That explained the how, but not the why. Then
Why?
Lucas spoke, his voice trembling. "Dan, do you
Oh. Did we move?
remember the IVF treatment?" Months earlier, they had traveled abroad, chasing the dream of a family. Doctors had attempted a radical, experimental procedure, implanting a fertilized embryo into Daniel's body. They were told the chances were almost zero. Daniel dismissed it when nothing seemed to happen. But now, the impossible truth stared back at them.
Yeah.
The embryo had taken root. Daniel Hayes, the
Literally.
tough cop, the protector of the city, was pregnant. When the lead doctor finally delivered the results, the room felt like it was spinning. "Officer Hayes," he said firmly, "you're carrying a child. The fetus is healthy, about 14 weeks old." Daniel's breath caught in his chest. He wanted to argue, to scream, to demand answers, but instead, he broke. The weight of it all crashed down, and tears blurred his vision. Lucas
Wow.
pulled him close, whispering, "We wanted this, Dan. We prayed for this. It doesn't matter how impossible it looks. It's happening." The ultrasound image glowed on the screen, tiny limbs, a fluttering heartbeat. Life. Daniel pressed his hand to his stomach, feeling both terror and awe. For years, he had fought criminals, protected strangers,
Yeah.
and faced death without fear. But now, he realized he was facing his greatest mission yet, protecting the fragile life inside him. Word spread quickly through the precinct. Some officers scoffed. Others called it a miracle. A few
Oh my
avoided him
god.
altogether, not knowing what to say. The media eventually caught wind, and headlines blared. Pregnant police officer stuns doctors. But Daniel didn't care about the stares or the whispers anymore. For the first time in his life, he wasn't living for the badge, the uniform, or the city. He was living for the heartbeat he had seen on that screen. Lucas stood by him, unwavering. Their dream of fatherhood, something they had thought impossible, was now
Yeah.
real. Not in the way anyone expected, but real nonetheless. Daniel, the iron-willed officer, had faced countless battles. But this battle was different. This one was about love, life, and a miracle no one could explain. And for the first time, he wasn't afraid. Would you believe this if it happened in real life? What would you do if the impossible became reality? Backhand Index Pointing Right subscribe for more unbelievable, real-inspired stories.
See every. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a police episode into in Ultrasound review the impossible by Vivian Subisanda. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like and comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one and subscribe if you're new and click the post so you can be notified for me upload in the post and go live in about 5. Wow.